All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, and name him Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Last Wakadash tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a quick sit down lesson of Matthew's 24 and verse 8. And it's going to be the title of the sit down lesson as of October the 31st, 2025. And this is the Gospel of Matthew's 24 and verse 8. And it reads to the Holy Scriptures. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Right. So that's what we're seeing that Yahweh Shai spoke about in red letter of the Holy Scriptures, the Gospel of Matthew's 24 and verse 8. The beginning of sorrows, especially, we're living in some increasing biblical signs, unprecedented signs, because we're going to be seeing some times, some unprecedented times like never before, and we're seeing the beginning stages of it, and that's what we're seeing. So we're seeing the building up, the tensions are rising against one another. We're seeing the nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. We see these political wars, economical wars, trade wars, tariff wars, trade wars, nuclear wars, and all these different tensions are heating up between these nations. We see in the distressive nations with perplexity firstborn. We see in the seditions, uprises, uproars beating the world. We see in the tornadoes, the earthquakes, the landslides, floodings, famines, pestilence, plagues. We're getting closer and closer to the great insurrection. We're getting closer and closer to the perilous times, like it says in 2 Timothy's third chapter. We're getting closer and closer to the great tribulation times because we're in the beginning stages of it. And that's why that makes perfect sense, because these are the beginning of sorrows, because these prophecies is only going to continue to increase. And we understand it's going to come to pass, be fulfilled, but it's not going to end just yet. That's why it says, I think that's in Luke 21 verse, I think that's the book of, Matthew's 24 verse 7. Yep, Matthew's 24 verse 6, I meant to say. Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but it's not yet. Right, so all these wars and rumors of wars, and that's what we're seeing. Now we're seeing the start of the increasing nuclear escalation tensions are heating up between these nations. We're seeing what's going on over there in the Middle East. Tensions are still only going to continue to increase between the Houthi rebels and Hezbollah going against the Israel Defense Force, despite the fact they got a ceasefire agreement. And you're still going to have the Houthi rebels, the pro-Iranian groups, still going against the Israel Defense Force. You're still going to have the proxy groups clashing against the Israel Defense Force. We're seeing what's going on down there in Latin America. We're seeing the tensions are heating up between the Venezuelan armies versus the United States armies. And we're seeing what's going on with the Russia-Ukraine situation that's intensifying. We're seeing what's going on over there in the South China Sea, China versus Taiwan, China versus the Philippines. What's going on over there in the Korean Peninsula for the past 2.5 weeks consistently. North Korea been firing out their ballistic missiles, firing out their cruise missiles as the ongoing tensions are heating up between, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and the United States. And all these different nuclear escalations and tensions are heating up. So these is the beginning of sorrows that Yahweh Shai spoke about, which is only going to continue to increase. Just like it says in Jeremiah 28 verse 8, the prophets of old, and that had before the prophets had prophesied. The prophets of old, they was prophesying against great countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. And that's what we see in our world today: war, evil, and pestilence, which is only going to continue to increase. So all these signs that we see in our world today at an unprecedented rate, which is only going to continue to increase. So these just the beginning of sorrows of what's only going to continue to increase, because we're living in modern days of the signs of times, because these are the signs that the Heavenly Father spoke about from days before from the beginning. So like it says, what's that second edge of the 9th chapter? There's going to be more plain beginning and powerful works and any effects and signs. And that's what the Heavenly Father is showing us, these plain beginning and powerful works and any effects and signs, because we're living in modern days, other signs of time. So these just the beginning of sorrows of what's about to continue to increase, because these are the times that we're living in. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of the Gospel of Matthew 24 and verse 8. It was the title of the sit down lesson. So hopefully this was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, or Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son Bahashem. In the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Nashwakadash tongue. And I say Barak to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim Akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.